Hi, I'm Raj with Sickbay. Sickbay is software that collects and delivers physiologic data at scale. My team goes out to the field and talks to our users and clients to find out how they're using Sickbay and how they're making use of this novel data set. Today, joining me are my colleagues Mishan and Chris to talk about a use case that they've heard recently. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Chris.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
All right. Tell us a little bit about one of the interesting stories that you've gotten from just working out there with our customer base.
Yeah, for sure. So Sickbay works with a lot of different technologies. It's able to integrate with a lot of different vendors and middlewares and technology stacks. And one of the advantages of just the flexibility of Sickbay is that we're able to connect with older technology as opposed to, say, like the newest newfangled technology. So today I'd like to share a little bit about how we were able to modernize an ECMO fleet, a fleet of ECMO devices. And these devices were quite old, but because Sickbay is able to integrate with them and store data for them, we're able to turn them from, I don't want to say, just ECMO devices. They're amazing devices on their own, but we're able to turn them from devices that were solely focused on doing the mechanical oxygenation to doing that and also feeding an intelligence platform and also feeding an analytics platform. Basically, we had a client come to us and they were asking us to, they asked us if we could use this data to show them how they were doing because they had no idea what the machines were doing, how their patients performing. And so we said, yeah, let's take a look at it. We're able to take down the various vital stats and feeds from the machine, able to analyze them retrospectively, and now we were able to give them a dashboard that shows them how well their patients are doing for the day, which is something they weren't able to do before. So pretty cool stuff. Essentially, we gave them an idea of how well they were doing when before the best idea they had was just taking paper notes, like looking at the machine, writing it down, or every so often, whenever they felt like, or whenever they had time to actually look at the machine. Wow. That's the best idea. They knew what they were doing. And we're able to give them a more wholesome, complete view of what was going on in the unit.
So I'm wondering, that obviously changed their day-to-day care protocols, right? Because they're no longer having to stop and document something. They're no longer having to remember and remind themselves to go look at something. And in fact, it's not even what's happening currently with the patient. It's probably something retrospectively that they had access to instead of just being able to take care of the patient, look at how well the patient's doing, and then make an adjustment. How's it been at that hospital? What's been the feedback from the staff?
Yeah, so they love it. They really like it. I think it's pretty clear you can't get better if you don't know how you're doing. Like right now, right? If you can't measure it, you can't improve it.
Yeah, that's great.
But they've even wanted to take it a step further, and they've even wanted to do further analytics on like trending. Like instead of looking just at the past 24 hours, how are patients doing? How are patients doing over the past month? Are we implementing any new changes, procedurally or in your practice that are resulting in long-term improvement in getting these vitals to where they need to be? So a lot of encouraging stuff out of that unit.
That's great. And where are the ECMO machines located at this hospital?
They're everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yeah,
okay.
Everywhere. I think that's one of the challenges with ECMO is the teams usually move between units.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, when you talk about modernizing your fleet, right? You could kind of get more sophisticated machines that are newer, right? That do the ECMO amazing magic and stuff, and also report out to a central database. But who's necessarily going to fund that? and ECMO was very expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. It all ties in when you have that information that's being recorded consistently, at very minute intervals. You use that in so many different ways: billing, better patient care, efficiency for your staff. That's great, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing that. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Raj?
Yeah, I love hearing about how Sickbay can help these clinicians make the most of the devices that they already have, right? Because Chris, you're exactly right. These are very sophisticated. They're in the facility for a long time, and it's important to be able to draw as much use out of them as you can. And of course, while taking care of these really complex patients as well, right? Thank you for joining us and telling your story. Thank you out there for listening. And if you'd like to learn more about Sickbay, or if you are a Sickbay user and you'd like to come on and tell your story, feel free to drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Until then, thank you, and we'll see you next time.